Coach, safe to assume tonight that you'll go with 7 defensemen?
Yes, 7-11. Gabrick's out. Same nagging thing. Condo's in. Eric is in. Yeah, it's great to have Eric back. I think there was a warm embrace by the players and everybody. It's not just for the hockey part. I think it's you got your own family, and then you got the hockey family, and I think for the organization, it's an opportunity, and the players and our fans to embrace him back and give him the support he deserves. So I think it's one of those days where I think it means more than just a hockey, and I hope we're going to feel it tonight.
More a mental boost than perhaps, and we know what he can do physically.
Yeah. I think it's he's such a big part of this team. I think the team was it was a tough week for everybody, and to have him back, I think kind of puts you back on as much of a normal track as possible. But I think it's like I said, that this is a great opportunity for us, for players, the organization, and the fans to come today and show support. So yeah, it's bigger than hockey.
Was it a bit of a surprise to you that he was coming back, or?
You know what? I was open to anything. To be honest with you. We just left it up to him to tell us when he felt he was able to come back, and when he felt it was right. And he wanted to be here this morning. He wanted to do the morning skate. He wanted to be here for the meetings. And I think it's not just good for us to have him back, but I think maybe for him too to get his body activated and getting back to what he does best, and maybe free his mind a little bit while he's able to play, and give him also a boost of energy, hopefully from everybody around him. So yeah, it's a good day to have him back.
I spoke to Craig Anderson about this, but he was saying the rink can be a good place to be sometimes. Well. Yes, it is. I mean, yeah, I think it's been very intense, and I'm sure he wants to get back quick to the family and to his wife, and but at the same time, I think it's once you come to the rink, it's so busy, so many things, and you feel surrounded by the people that are close to you, apart from your own family. It's another type of family, basically, and I think anybody, as a human being, that feels support around them gets a lot of energy from it, and then when you go back home, I think you can transmit that to everybody around you.
Thoughts on the game tonight, Coach, and what you expect from Carolina?
They're very similar to Toronto in their style. They've got some aggressiveness. I think with their forecheck, they pinch their defensemen. I think they've had good penalty kills in the past, and they got some youth. You got some youth and some legs that come at you, and I think it's no different than the way we experienced the last game. They've got some fast guys, obviously not McDavid. So, like I said before, that should be a help for us. But at the same time, they got some high-end guys on two lines that are legitimate top-end guys that can hurt you, and so we're going to make sure we got the right matchups.
If you have 7D, does that change like how you use Willetta? Obviously, CC doesn't play 32 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's exactly how I was going to answer you. We're not going to have Shabbat and CC sleep on the ice today and go beyond their limits. And if you look at it going back, it was a good game until there's 15 minutes left in the game, and when you look at the rest of those 15 minutes, I think a part of that is exactly that. Those guys that are not used to logging all these minutes against those top players, at some point or another, it gets to be a little too much. And I think with Eric coming in, it balances things out. I've talked about it all week. When you're missing your anchors, I think you have to be fair to the guys that are not anchors yet, that are on their way to become, and they're part of the beginning of the process. They need help. I think Eric coming in, you have Eric on one pair, that's an anchor, then Cece can get a decent, anchor job. And it gives us a different possibility to also match Wolanin with different guys, and breathe a little bit back there with 7. So I think in that respect that we give ourselves a bit more flexibility there, and it gives the opportunity for guys to be able to breathe a little bit before they get back out there.
You've talked a lot about Shabbat. This is an opportunity for him to play. I mean, what do you gain from those experiences? Like, that's the elite of the elite.
You know what it gives you? Like I said the other day, it's like my kids. You want to measure yourself against the best, and because even though you make it or you don't make it, you know the difference now. And by knowing the difference between where you are and where the very top is, I think that's the way I am. It can be extremely motivating because now you know exactly. Oh boy, okay, I've got that much to gain before I get to the level I need to be a top end player. So it gives you a measuring stick, really. And I think that's always motivating for the players that are the high competitors that you don't have to push, the guys that push themselves. And I think Shabbat's one of those guys. He really is. And Cease has been pushing very hard. He's been getting harder. So I think it's those guys have gotten this year, I think, with having to do more. It's a tough year in general, but actually for them it's a great learning process, and it accelerates their process because they were ready for it, but at the same time they're still a little ways to go, and it gives them a map of where they need to get to.
Is there an update? Sorry, and Mark still in this game?
We're hoping that in the next days it's gonna be a little better, so that we can hope for next weekend. But again, until I get a clear medical green light that he can come on the ice with the players and practice for real, or we're not close yet.